Okay, guys, I'm just gonna check this. See? 28 recordings written on here. I've done 21 of them, and I've already mentioned what the other 6 are going to be after this one. So 22. Krishna. I haven't done them in order though. I was going to use Cowboys and Sunsets from Oliver Anthony for all of my remaining recordings because it's very, very fitting for now. But I went to go use it. That was the one that I used for WWE ideas, the most recent one, WWE ideas. And it's not for commercial use, TikTok says, anymore. Doesn't say anymore, but it's like, huh? That was only like yesterday. Times change, man. So, yeah. Krishna. Oh, and another thing is Thor, you know, because the Germanic people there that came and they forced out the Celts from England, and the Celts are now known as like the modern day Scottish and Irish. Or anyone moves there and then now they got Scottish and Irish passports, but you know what I mean, like the ones that were there like before airplanes and all that type of stuff was invented, I suppose. Well, when was the first airplane? You know, yeah, the main population when the treaty was signed was the treaty signed with England? I don't think so. But then there was like a time period, you know, and then now we just have airplanes and stuff, and then you can go live somewhere for a couple of years and become a citizen that way. And then when your kids get born there, I mean, they may not be like traditional Scottish blood, but they might be, because you might have the locals, but they'll be Scottish nationality, you know. And when the Vikings showed up, they had heaps of kids with the Celts too, because, yeah, they may have overthrown England, but not Scotland and Ireland. But the thing is they were that close, you know. It's like, if I was, okay, so if you're a New Zealander, okay, if I was to jump in my car and drive up the whole length of New Zealand, within that time span, you've actually driven through Scotland, Ireland, England, and Wales. Not in that order, I don't know what the order is, but you've just driven through 4 countries if you just drove up the space of New Zealand. So anyway, the William's name and the Mian name, Google, as well as just asking around, were Vikings. So we don't know where their name, like, we go back to the beginning of time, but we know you can go back to the Vikings. And then there's the MacDonald and the MacLeod and the Campbell. That's my Celtic. And then we got another 2 that are Māori. Was Mohi and my great grandfather's mother. You know, my granddad's mum. I forgot what she is. I forgot what her name was, but like Tehiko or something. And then there's one other who was some sort of European. My mum's mother's mum. So, the Indo-Europeans were, you know, there's debates, but my point is it's universal knowledge. It's for the world to know. It just manifests itself in different forms. We are where we are now. Whatever history is, you know, good or bad, you know, we are where we are now. And it's our job to repeat the good stuff and do everything we can to not repeat the bad stuff so that humans can evolve. So, yeah, whether the Viking deities were first or the Hindu ones, they're very similar because whether it came from the Indo-Europeans or whether it came from the Aryans or whether it came from, because, there's only one human race, and what creates a culture and a people, right? You got a people living in the same place. I look like this, right? It doesn't matter my grandkids are going to look like this. My grandkids might be black. They might look like Asians. They might be brown. They might be white. Things change. And people adapt to cultures and stuff. See, there's a lot of people, and I agree with this. So there'll be differences due to cultures and times, but Odin is actually the Germanic version of Shiva, and or you could say vice versa too. But who knows which one came first? But these spirits are spirits. They're not Germanic. They're not Celtic, they're not Maori. It's just the explanations that our ancestors had for how the world is and what is, But the spirits themselves are not of any lineage. DNA, that is. Some people say that, there's like Viracocha. This could be true, like what they said about Jesus, because was he he was a Buddhist? No, he was a Buddhist or he was a Hindu, and they just want to admit it, and that's why there's 20 years. And so when he started his ministry, he had incorporated Buddhist or Hindu ideas, depending who you ask. The kingdom of heaven is within. I am the Son of God. Now, obviously, another thing is obvious is that Jesus, none of the books in the Bible were written by Jesus. So there's over 100 Gospels missing that the church decided to. The Council of Nicaea, I forgot the name, but it's been a while. I came to conclusions of this a while ago when it came to this bit. The Council of Nicaea decided, like 300 years after Jesus was alive, if you believe that the actual figure itself was alive. I believe Jesus was alive, but then they've taken out a whole bunch of stuff and added in some other things, so he's not the same. He's not literally the same person as what he was in reality, That was 300 years after the life of Jesus, according to if you're going by Bible timeline. So they decided to, So, Odin, the god of intoxication, he's basically the Viking version of Shiva. And Thor is the protector of humanity. Thor is the protector of humanity. He's connected to the thunder. He's also Lord of the Mind. Thuna is another translation of his name, Thor. And Thuna, the actual literal translating of that name is Thor. So which language, whether you know him by Thor or Thuna, and he's known as the protector of humanity, and he's known as the Lord of the Mind. Odin, god of intoxication, God consumed with the ecstasy of the full knowledge of himself, both his strengths and his weaknesses, his beautiful characteristics and his not so beautiful characteristics that he has to integrate in a way that doesn't destroy him or those around him. But things do come to an end at Ragnarok.